Welcome to BamBamORama.
Welcome to BamBam-O-Rama. We got the schmeats.
We got the
The
schmeats.
chair.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, my farts are weird. I mean, they're weird sounding.
Well, it's because you put too many things up there.
I know.
The body was not meant for that.
I mean, it's not my fault that I have that duster up the butt kink.
Duster?
Duster.
Like a whole jacket?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. No, I meant like canned air.
Got candy in my feet.
And the best thing about it is when it's up there, I can with my sphincter, I can squeeze the button and spray the canned air, the duster, inside me.
Ugh, dude. That's fucked up. You're fucked up, bro.
That's because nothing goes up the butt naturally. You have to use
force.
And force.
That's what I said. That's what I wanted to say. We were on the same page.
Yeah.
You said it. I was using a different dialect.
Different dialect, yeah. So when I was working out this morning, I was watching Good Morning Football, and they were talking about Kirk Cousins. And it's really weird because I've never really thought about this. Kirk Cousins is one of, statistically, you could argue that he's like a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah, he's like a Romo type character.
Yeah, but he chokes in prime time. He chokes on playoff wins. Like he has a winning the game problem. But his stats are amazing. You look at his stats and you're like, why does this guy not have a Super Bowl win? Which totally makes sense. It's crazy.
I mean, who knows, man? With the way that division is.
Without Rodgers now too.
Maybe this will be his year.
I mean, without Rodgers, I know a lot of people are talking about how good Jordan Love is going to be, and I'm like, we've seen Jordan Love start. I know at least one game. I could have sworn there was two, and he was awful. So right now, I think it's pretty easy to say, unless you're blinded by this Jordan Love, that Kirk Cousins is the best quarterback in that division, and they do have the best wide receiver in the entire league. In my opinion, I think there's argument that it could be Davante Adams over Jefferson, but I think Jefferson is just younger, and I think he is really about to blow up this year. Not that he hasn't already. I just really think but I think we're about to have another season where there's a wide receiver in the MVP conversation, and it's going to be Jefferson. So I mean, arguably, yeah, they should be a shoo-in for that division. They should be a shoo-in to already be in the playoffs. Maybe Kirk Cousins can change the conversation that surrounds him and finally get more than one playoff win. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm pretty happy for football this season.
Dude, I'm so happy for football this season.
We're going to get to watch so many games, dude.
I know. I know.
That's like all we're going to get to do.
Right. We might as well go ahead and start planning for this podcast to turn into a football podcast because we're going to be watching so many games. It's going to be stupid. And the best thing about it, too, is we're going to end up in the same city, whether it's there or here. So there's going to be literal times where the background noise in our office is
that's what
I'm
saying.
Browns game, this game that happened. Whatever.
I'm just going to take my TV that I have in my room, and that's going to be the office TV. So whatever we end up with, that thing's going to be on one wall. Like we'll probably end up back to back, I would guess.
Oh, yeah. I would assume too.
Or maybe we can find a cheap cubicle stand where we can be face to face, but in the middle of the room.
Right.
So that way, if I stand up, you're right there, and vice versa. That'd be a fun way to do pitches.
It would be cool. And I'm just like, hey,
workout ideas. Like, hey, read this line for me, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, and then we could have the TV boom.
Yeah.
But either way, we just have it where we just look off. Both of us can look off real easy. We should have the games going on that thing.
Oh yeah.
I'll put the Fire Stick on that, and that way we don't have to deal with the, TV being a smidge older, and boom. Problem solved.
It's gonna be life, and we're gonna be super into our fantasy football this year too, because we're starting a new league. This isn't the official BamBamORama league. We need to find more employees first. I'm gonna talk about it for 2 hours, and you better make a podcast out of it.
Not gonna.
I will not sign in on another podcast recording session. You will just have to.
That's what this podcast is. Just that line you just said. Well, Jack's quitting.
It'll be all the news. That'll be the first big post. Like it'll be on comicbook.com on Facebook. On their Facebook page, they'll be like, Jackson, quit BamBamORama. And everyone's going to be like, what the fuck is BamBamORama?
I don't know, but they
Who the
paid a
fuck is
lot of money
Jackson?
for this advertisement. Way
Right?
more than a $25 t-shirt.
Oh, man.
I shaved my beard off.
You're going to shave your beard? You've been talking about that for a while. When are you going to do it?
I don't know. It's driving me crazy right now looking at it. It's too big.
I personally think it looks great, but if you don't like it,
then
you change it because it is
a lot of
your
people.
body. It's your choice. A lot of people what?
A lot of people say things about it, but it is a pain in the ass sometimes.
What do people say about it? What do people say about your beard?
It's like, I like your beard. Good beard.
Good beard.
Yeah, they think it's a good beard.
You know, it's funny to me, having a beard, you know, it seems like almost everybody comes up to you. Not everybody, but a lot of people come up to you and they say, man, I love that beard. That's a cool beard. Blah, 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 blah. Your beard's awesome. And then you turn the corner and there's some dude standing there going, you know, real men shave.
Who says that?
I mean, we have a friend who said that once in one of our group chats.
Is this person unable to grow a beard?
Yes.
Well, that's why they're saying that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I know.
That's just...
But yeah, no, like, I mean, it always seems like there's always someone around the corner. I mean, not necessarily a direct quote of like, I mean, that was a direct quote of one of our friends, real men shave. But a lot of people, I've heard one of my brothers was like, you know how much more handsome you'd look if you shaved your beard off? And I was like, that is false news. Because
it depends, right?
I mean, it depends on what people want and what people like. I personally don't think my face looks good without a beard. But that's also I don't know, maybe that's within my own insecurities. I think it's funny. So no one's ever told you that you should shave?
Well, not all the time, I suppose, but enough. It's probably a third of the time I'll get, you know, like, you ever want to shave it? Or, you know, somebody's leaning more into that conversation.
Yeah. No, yeah. And I know, yeah, I think more often than not, I get compliments on the beard. And then every once in a while, it's, hey, dude, you should shave.
The anti-beardism of the 90s to the mid-2000s has kind of faded away, though.
Was it all the way to the mid-2000s? I thought the beginning of the 2000s kind of started bringing beards back.
I mean, it kind of depends, because you had, like, boy bands who were all clean-cut, and then they had, like, the guy with the, like, Sharpie-looking, you know, it was hair, but it was, like, you know, real thin line.
Like, what's his name? AJ from the Backstreet Boys.
AJ from Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, he had that.
So there was more of facial hair coming back, and then it was slowly creeping in. But yeah, I don't really know when it really, because I'm thinking of like on the professional level when it was kind of accepted back. Is my brain.
Professional level, I feel like maybe specifically like a clean cut beard, and not like as pencil thin as like the AJ beard, but like. Yeah, a much better kept beard than mine in a professional setting. Yeah, I think you're right there. That was probably mid to late 2000s. Because, yeah, in the professional setting, it did seem like zero facial hair. Like mustaches weren't even appreciated in most professional settings for most of the 90s. I know goatees were pretty cool during the 90s, but I think even most businesses were like, no.
That's what I'm saying. Is like even throughout the middle of 2000, it was still no for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
So not till like 2010 did it really. You had people, you know, kind of bringing back an 80s kind of beard where it was like, you know, real tight but still a little bit bushier.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? So there was more guys like that, and then it's slowly like the Al from Borland from Tool Time.
Yeah, Al Borland.
And maybe that was it, like, because he was on TV, you know, throughout some of that. Maybe because we saw more TV people, it was like, okay, that's more okay.
I think so too.
Riker from Star Trek Next Generation was getting some beard action in on his.
I think Conan unintentionally repopularized beards for a lot of people. I think we were already back with beards when Conan wore his beard, but I think he brought it to a few more homes as well too. Good old Conan. And then he shaved it.
Had beards to a few more homes. That noble bastard.
Right. When I was getting close to what's it called? When I was getting close to student teaching, when I was going to school to be a teacher, someone told me, they were like, I'm going to take you to my barber so that we can get you clean shaven. And I was like, I don't want to be clean shaven. I choose to wear a beard. And they're like, yeah, but you can't be a teacher and wear a beard. And I was like, I was like, what? Like, they had this idea, but they were still under the impression that this was towards the late 2000s, maybe even early 2010s. When this conversation happened, and this gentleman was under the impression that if you wanted a job outside of doing hard labor, you needed to be clean shaven and you needed to wear a collar. And I was like, there's plenty of jobs you can work that are considered nice jobs that allow you to have facial hair and don't require you to wear collars. I mean, I know there's probably a lot of people out there that would argue about the collar thing. I feel like most men feel like when they're working, they need to have a collar on. I think that depending on what kind of shirt, like the t-shirts that you and I are wearing right now would not fly in a workplace, in most workplaces, except for maybe
Tell me my pajama shirt with the Golden Girls on it wouldn't be okay?
I mean, I'm fine with it. But I mean, if you showed up to any of the other jobs you had, they'd be like, dude, no, even on casual Friday, they'd be like, no, casual Friday, like you could have a plain t-shirt, but this is a no, but I feel like now, at least, I don't know, the last year that I taught, I got away wearing a lot of Henleys and a lot of plain t-shirts. There were even some days where I really didn't give a shit and I wore this shirt in the middle, like on a Wednesday, and some people looked at me and some people were like, okay. I was like, I don't care.
Music instructor. That's a position that I think music instructors are allowed to be eccentric, and I don't appreciate that people don't let them sometimes.
Dude, I'm right there with you. Like, because I mean, for one, the PE coaches at an elementary school, actually any school setting, a PE coach gets to wear shorts or sweats, like basically gym wear. So if I'm like, as a musician, why wouldn't you be able to dress as a musician just because you're teaching music?
Just picture you in really tight, like emo style tight jeans, with like your ass hanging out,
and
the Avenged Sevenfold ratted out t-shirt.
My thin hair right here swooped.
Oh man.
I mean, no, Converse. Not that much. I don't think the emo look.
I mean, I honestly think that it should be allowed. I just, I don't think that it's okay that just because that asshole down the hallway gets paint on their hands on accident, they can dress with patches, all over their dresses, or a fake grass suit jacket that I've seen in the past. I don't appreciate that just because they're the art teacher. Music's art too, asshole.
Right.
It's just considered. I think it's considered a more disciplined art because it was used to be something that was only accessible to people who had money for an instrument.
Yeah.
Versus paint, you could make out of mud. If you were creative, if you were an artist, you could have done paint. You could have painted anyway. And I think that's maybe some of the separation. Is it used to be a waspy thing, and it's now been afforded into the rest of the world, and it's just not had as much time for that.
You might be right. I think it's a fair assumption. Also, I'm not gonna lie. I've dreamt of having more work days now that I've left teaching. We're starting this entertainment company. I've dreamed about having more days without collared shirts, wearing jeans to work, and this and that. Don't get me wrong. I know there's going to be days where we're on set and we're going to have to dress this way. That's for whatever character we're playing. Or even on if we do any other type of content, like, a made up game show or board game day, we'll have certain things we'll wear for our wardrobe and too, like, maybe a plain T-shirt instead of T-shirt with dialogue on it or whatever.
I look forward to the day where I can walk to work in my PJs, or I hopefully want to just live above where our office is.
Right? That'd be cool.
Just because I'm reclusive in a lot of ways, and one less experience in the wild is important to me. But I would hope that one day I can just be clean, of course, and showered, and just go in my PJs downstairs and get someone dress me, like for my work day. You know, like hey, we need you for this sketch. You're gonna need these pants and this.
Right.
Like,
Honestly, I'm with you. I still think I would show up in a T-shirt and jeans. But I can't wait to sit down and have wardrobe be like, okay, so this is what you're gonna wear. Because I'm like, great, a decision I don't have to make for one.
yeah. It sounds wonderful.
It really does. And I think as far as like, running our office, I don't give a fuck about dress code as long as it's actually not
Sexual.
distracting and not sexual. Like, yeah, no thongs. I mean, you can wear thongs under your shit, but like,
I'm
you
gonna
can't just
cut that one. I don't think we're allowed to talk about it in that detail to future.
Oh yeah, for YouTube, you're probably right. So yeah, I mean, you might not be able to show up in underwear, but
yeah, exactly. Just keep it PG-13.
yeah. Because I mean, I don't care. I mean, like, if
Yeah.
all the dudes want to wear tank tops or pajamas, as long as their pajamas are actual pajamas and not just like boxers.
Yeah, that's another good one. Is
yeah.
you have to have something other than just undergarment.
Yeah.
Undergarment plus overgarment
Yeah.
is a rule.
I think that's fine.
Because if we just say it like that, then nobody can misconstrue it, and you could show up in a dress for all I care. If it,
Yeah, I don't give a
it
shit.
doesn't matter. You just have to have those, rule. And by the way, I'm not gonna be probing, so it's just
Nope.
that's just the rule. Just not just undergarment.
Right? Yeah.
So
As far as I'm
that's an easy one.
concerned, yeah, as long as you're, and yeah, like you said, I'm not probing. I'm not going to be checking to make sure there's undergarment under your shorts. So
Yeah. The rule is just not undergarment.
Yeah.
So have fun. Do whatever you want.
if you're going commando, that's
other things under there.
Right? If you're going commando, that's between you and your shorts. I don't know, like
And your laundry detergent.
your laundry detergent. Yeah, I don't
And
give a fuck.
your hygiene. I mean, quite frankly,
We should also have cosplay day.
I like that. I
Like-
think every Friday, instead of casual Friday, it could be cosplay Friday.
Cosplay Friday. I think that'd be sick. People could come dressed as anime characters. I mean, I say that because it seems like anime and comic books seem to be the most cosplayed things. I think that'd be fun. I think that'd be cool.
I'm just gonna cosplay as you all the time.
You're gonna cosplay as me? Oh yeah. You'll get method about it too, and you'll start saying things like, "Oh yeah, don't get me wrong." As you've already pointed out to me years ago that I say that all the fucking time. And now I'm like, yep.
I mean, we all have our habits.
Oh yeah, we do. There's one time, for those of you who listen, I know most of our listeners right now are good friends of ours. You may be on this list. One time when Adrian and I were hanging out, he went down the list of our closest friends and impersonated a lot of us. It was just me and him. So you guys should be offended.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. It made me laugh, especially when he did me.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. So yeah, you would explain to me the rest of your Jackson cosplay.
Probably have to have a denim jacket for no reason.
I like
even if it's warm enough. Even if it's warm enough to not be wearing a jacket. I think that's a big rule right there.
Yeah, I do often misjudge the outside weather, and The problem with my denim jacket is that I don't have any thin denim jackets. I literally only have like a nice winter denim jacket at this point in time, and I've worn it on days that just needed a light jacket, like a hoodie or a regular denim jacket, as opposed to that thick motherfucker. What else would you do?
I'd probably just like sit in the corner and cry a lot.
I don't do that.
Oh, I mean, no, you don't.
I haven't cried in a long time.
Yeah, that's what I said. I didn't say anything. And that's what I was telling them.
I mean, me, if I was going to cosplay as Adrian, I would just wear gray shorts and a Golden Girls t-shirt.
It's my PJs.
You wear them well.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I like to think that at some point in my life, I can have an action figure, and this might be the.
It would be the Golden Girls t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be good.
Just like literally the gray shorts, the Golden Girls shirt, this specific color, like the yellow background and everything. The
Nice.
generic Target one that I got here.
Nice.
How maybe Target can be the people who make it.
That's a good topic. How often have you I've probably spent way too much time daydreaming about a Jackson action figure. How often have you thought about having an Adrian action figure?
Not as often, probably, because I have that bobblehead, which has satisfied a lot of that.
Oh, I bet that has. I spent probably 6 months one time when I was in my early 20s talking about how badly I wanted a Jackson action figure. I had looked up at the process so many times. And at the time, I think it's a lot easier now. But at the time, you had to take like 12 photos of your head.
Yeah.
And it cost like $600.
I mean, I'm pretty sure this is pretty similar.
Is it still pretty similar?
I'm pretty sure that it was like $300, and they had to do some.
Oh, to get your bobblehead?
Some crafty photos of me and stuff. Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, your bobblehead. Because, I mean, the specific time I'm talking about is a couple years before we met, but like literally a couple years before we met. And then you got that, you either already had that bobblehead or you got it within the first year of us meeting.
Yeah.
One of the two.
It's one of the two for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that process wasn't much different than what I wanted to go through.
This company does it for $325 right here that I found.
Ooh.
So, yeah, there you go. $325 will get you an action figure. It's pretty good.
There you go. Now, how do we mass produce it? Because I have to sell it to people.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun to have a few.
Mm-hmm.
But what would you do with them? I for sure would want to try to end up taking one like on a cruise.
We definitely,
and then somehow throwing it off into the water.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of stupid shit. I would take mine. I would take one of them if I had a bunch of them. Don't get me wrong. If we had one, it's going on the shelf. But if I made 20,
I'm talking 20, 30.
Yeah, if I had 20 or 30, there's going to be a BB gun session.
Okay.
Like of shooting that thing.
Make a stop animation film, right?
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say that too. Yeah. There's got to be a stop animation film. Maybe we should do these just so we could make one stop animation short. I mean, I say
like 2 years.
Okay.
I don't want
Maybe
to,
we should get these
so
we can hire people to make one.
Now you're talking.
I'm with you on that. I love stop animation, but outside of, I don't think I would want to do a full film. Maybe like a 2 to 5 minute sketch, something that would be feasibly done. And I could be wrong about this timeline, but like in a couple months. Because I know a feature film would take, Nightmare Before Christmas took like 5 years, didn't it?
I mean, I would guess.
I think it did.
Yeah, 3 years. Over 3 years.
Over 3 years. Okay.
Whopping 18 months. And that's with skilled people that know what they're doing.
That's also not one crew doing it the whole time.
Right. That's hundreds of people all knowing what they're doing, all working at it.
Yeah. And that's like you took I don't know how big a studio on the Universal Studios lot is, but that's like that whole studio cut up into sections and people working on it, There's probably I would imagine 10 crews making that movie happen.
Over 120 workers, it says.
Wow.
I would have guessed 300 or something, but here we go. Utilizing 20 sound stages for filming.
I don't know if this is good form. I do want to go back to action figures, though. What accessories would come with the Adrian action figure?
That's a tough one. Probably some headphones. A guitar of some sort, probably an acoustic, just because that's
what you're currently doing.
What I used whenever I was writing by myself more often.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are the only things that I would put in there.
You would?
Maybe my hat.
Yeah. I always thought, I'm on the same lines. I always knew there would be a guitar as one of the accessories that came with the Jackson action figure. Originally, like I said, this was in my early 20s. I was, a pack a day smoker and almost drinking a fifth of whiskey a week, if not in a couple days. So I always joked about those being things that would come with it. But now if we were to make it accurate, since I don't do either of those things almost at all, I've quit smoking. Very seldomly drink, so I guess not. I would still have a guitar come with it. I guess maybe since I like to exercise, a dumbbell? I don't know. Like that might be kind of weird.
Just a random loose chameleon tail. Freshly snapped off of a chameleon.
For me or you?
For you, yeah.
For me? Yeah, I think that makes sense. You're right.
You always hit people with those.
I do hit people with those. I think a very random object is always the best thing to do with me because I am very random. Like you've been over at my house before and you're like, what the fuck is this thing? Like, why do you have it? Also, why do you have 9 jars of peanut butter? Like,
that's what it is. You need 9 jars of peanut butter.
9 jars of peanut butter comes with.
That's nothing else.
Right?
No other. It's like we wanted to put more accessories, but this demand for 9 jars of peanut butter took the whole package. It's only so many spots.
It's only so many spots. Yeah, that's pretty good.
And we even tried to consolidate it into one giant stack of peanut butters. It was like one thing, but Mr. Grist refused. Demanded individual peanut butters. There actually has to be peanut butter in them too. Functioning peanut butter jars.
I mean, you can unscrew these little tiny peanut butter jars.
He wouldn't even let us put a flat butter knife in there to get the peanut butter out. He said, "Fuck them." They'll get it out.
You got to find your own butter knife to get the peanut butter out. Do you remember? Were you at the? Yeah, you were at it. The Gristmas, where I made a How to Be Jackson kit for my gift.
Yeah,
and it was like
suit jacket in there.
It was a suit jacket, a pack of cigarettes, a flask size whiskey, and then just to be random, I threw in a Cosmo because I was like, I'm always do random stuff. So it was a Cosmo magazine. The best thing about it was I still made the Jackson mistake, and it was a Spanish Cosmo. We were like, what is this? I can't read it. And I was like, oh, neither can I.
Just dance off into the night.
Right?
Ole.
Ole. So that's what we could do. It'd be good call back to the 2 people that remember that party. We could put a Spanish Cosmo.
That works.
I think now that we did bring up, I just want to toy around with a little bit of stop motion animation, even if we only make 15 seconds and give up. Now I want to get it
try, but
yeah.
It's not going to be pretty.
It's going to be a while. I think we would definitely have to. I don't know if it would be content that we would release. It might just be a hobby. Donald Faison is a stop motion animation hobbyist.
Is that so?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
He's made he's put some of his stuff on Instagram.
I'm gonna find something. Yeah,
go look at it. Usually it's Star Wars Legos.
Yeah, that's what this is. Star Wars. It's not Legos, but what I would want to do is mix some VFX with it. So instead of that, personally, I would be mixing the mouth myself.
Right. I think that's what Tim Burton, and I could be wrong, I think that's what Tim Burton ended up doing in his second stop motion, Corpse Bride. I think as a combination of VFX and stop motion.
What other kind of film would you want to make other than stop animation that we haven't?
If I was to Like, and you're talking about like a style of film, like
Yeah, I mean,
animated, CG.
I mean, yeah, you say animated. Anime. I would like to do an anime, like
I would love to do an anime. I
straight
mean,
up anime.
there's not much I wouldn't want to do. I think if there's one that really like I've gotten a lot of appreciation for, and sure the mockumentary kind of dips into it, but I really want to go full fledged is like found footage, held head camera horror movie. Like that genre really intrigues me because of films like VHS, which were fucking terrifying, and those were done not just not just hidden camera or not hidden camera found footage. They were
footage?
also, what's the word, there was like multiple stories, what's the word, anthology style. So there was like but not necessarily that I'd want to do an anthology, but maybe. I think it would definitely be fun to like go full fledged, go out into the woods for a week or two, make an actual found footage film. I mean, we'd have to write, when I say a week or two, I might be cutting that timeline short. It might need to be a month or two. I don't think much production needs to go into
Just try to
found footage.
capture some of that rhythm and vibe that the Blair Witch team had when they got theirs done.
Yeah, because I think that one was literally a week.
Yeah.
But I think, and for a while it seemed, I think Cloverfield kind of gave the found footage genre a little bit of a bad taste because the hand cam was so
Punch
shaky.
zooms. Digital punch zooms is Cloverfield's.
There we go.
Oh, I hate digital punch zooms. I hate Cloverfield's digital punch zooms.
I get you. Yeah, it gave that genre a bad name for a while. As a lot of people were like, I don't want this because Cloverfield did a bad job. And I guess it did. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. I think my biggest complaint about it was I didn't like the way the monster looked. Probably going to rewatch it soon, though. Because like I said, I think that would be a style of film that I would really like to do.
It'd be fun.
It's kind of guerrilla punk rock feel.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Just taking
we have projects that aren't in that film genre, but that have that stuff lined up that might help you there too.
Yeah. What about you? What's a style of film you would want to do? You said anime.
Yeah, no, anime would be it.
Anime's the dream. I think there's not much that I wouldn't want to tackle. If you gave me the option or the opportunity to try something new and do something, as long as I had time to really study and understand it, I'd be down to jump into just about any type of project. Probably don't want to do porn. Maybe we should try making a porn.
Just hire you a few chicks, throw you in there. It'd be like Orgasmo, man.
That movie's so good.
That's one I need to go rewatch.
Yeah, now that's exactly what I thought, dude. Like, I feel like the watches between Orgasmo are few and far between. How do I
not just own this? Do I own this summer? I might just own this on one of these.
I'm pretty sure you own it. I want to say I've seen it on one of your DVD shelves that you've owned at some point.
Well, I have it physically, but that will I don't know where
Oh, you don't know where the actual DVD is?
After I get paid, I might just spend the $4 and be lazy. I'll never have to do that again.
Don't be lazy. Put your Blu-rays in the player.
And don't be lazy. Remember to subscribe, guys.
Yes.
Make sure that you go to BamBamORama.com. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Twitch. That happens on Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We get our podcast here going on Sundays, 9 p.m. if you're listening. On Tuesdays at midnight in the morning, if you're watching. And then lastly, we've got some sketches coming out, some shorts coming out, a few little things going on. If you want to put those up your butt and ingest those that way, you can.
Absolutely.
But we prefer that you watch them through your eyeballs on YouTube as well.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram as well. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you.